Distinguished guests, Mr. Ravi Kant, Shri Somaiya, Dr. Rajshekharan Pillai, and Dr. Raman Ramachandran, beloved parents, respected faculty members, dedicated staff, and our new students of batch 25-27. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to our esteemed MBA Institute for what promises to be an enlightening and empowering orientation program. Your presence here today is a significant achievement, a testament to your ambition, resilience, and the immense potential you hold to shape the future of the business world. Today marks not just the beginning of another academic year for all of you, but it's the genesis of a transformative experience, as we pride in calling ourselves the T School. This journey will be characterized by profound learning, personal growth, and the cultivation of an invaluable network that will last a lifetime. Each of you has already demonstrated incredible fortitude in navigating what we call transforming together. Think back to the initial spark of curiosity that led you to consider pursuing an MBA. Perhaps it was a desire of new challenges, a drive to broaden your horizons, or an aspiration to lead with greater impact. This curiosity propelled you forward even through moments of uncertainty that I'm sure all of you would have had. From that spark, you transitioned to strategic preparation for all the numerous MBA entrance exams that you might have appeared for. You meticulously planned, dedicated countless hours to competitive exams, and rigorously evaluated your options, all with the goal of securing a seat at a top-tier B school. Your disciplined approach has brought you all over here. So we warmly welcome you all here, and we wish you a fantastic 2 years that you're going to be here with us. As you now stand at the beautiful grassland of dynamic engagement, this phase calls for you to actively participate, to challenge conventional thinking, to collaborate seamlessly, and to embrace every opportunity for skill enhancement and personal evolution. This is where your transformation truly begins. I want to extend sincere thank you to the families and friends who have been the unwavering pillars of support for our new students. Your encouragement and belief has been instrumental in bringing them to this pivotal environment. Dear parents, today you must be feeling a profound sense of accomplishment and anticipation too. We understand the depth of your support and belief in your children, which has undoubtedly been a cornerstone of their success in reaching this milestone. Your decision to entrust us with their continued growth and development is a privilege we deeply value. Thank you for gracing us here with your presence. And to our dear students, welcome to a vibrant ecosystem of intellect, innovation, and achievement. KJ Somaiya Institute of Management has a proud legacy of nurturing leaders who have made significant contribution across diverse sectors. We are confident that you will not only uphold this legacy, but also elevate it to newer heights. As we move forward, I encourage you to embrace every opportunity, be inquisitive, be proactive, and always strive for excellence. We are committed to supporting you every step of the way, and we eagerly look forward to witnessing your incredible growth and success. Once again, a hearty welcome to your new MBA family. Here's to a truly enriching, impactful, and transformation journey ahead. I take this opportunity to introduce our Chancellor, Shri Somaiya ji, who I would like to describe as a distinguished leader who has been instrumental in guiding and shaping the vision of this institute and the university as a whole. His contributions to social development through business acumen, academic excellence, and educational development are phenomenal. He has been the recipient of several prestigious awards, both nationally and internationally. He prefers to have his introduction short, so I'm not elaborating further. I request Shri Somaiya ji to come and address the gathering.
Our Chief Guest, Ravikant ji, Vice Chancellor, Raman, faculty, parents, and most of all, our new students, welcome to Somaiya Vidya Vihar University. The world of business, the world of entrepreneurship, it's a fantastic world. It is to find opportunity, it is to go after it, it is to build teams, it is to build dreams, and it is to always make those dreams a reality for yourself, for your family, for your community, for the world. Our founder, my grandfather, Padma Bhushan Karamshi Jethabhai Somaiya, was also first and foremost an entrepreneur. He excelled in business, he excelled in entrepreneurship. He went through years of struggle after being born poor in rural Maharashtra. He found opportunity and he created wealth. And it is in that creation of wealth that then came the use of that wealth. He believed in the Atharva Ved's wonderful statement, Shatahasta Samahara Sahasrahasta Sankira, which is to earn with 100 hands, but to give with 1,000. But the first is always to earn with 100 hands. Those 100 hands are your own, your team, your society, your community, your country, and of course to give with 1,000 hands. As you are our alumni, today your new students, 2 years later are alumni, you will earn and again you will give, and this will keep multiplying to build a beautiful society, to build a great new India and a wonderful new world. And it is in that giving of the Sahasrahasta Sankira that he created Somaiya Vidya Vihar. He started Godavari Sugar Mills in 1939, before the Second World War. And in 1942, before Indian independence, he started his first school to create a better society for the place where he was creating his opportunity of work. And this campus, 1959, when he created opportunity for higher education. Higher education to him was to build great citizens of India and the world. आज हम जब बात करते हैं तो पेशे की बात करते हैं. आप यहाँ पे आए हैं सीखने के लिए तो कहते हैं MBA सीखने के लिए आए हैं. ये हुआ आपका पेशा. पेशे के साथ साथ विद्या में काफ़ी ज़्यादा होता है. उसमें होता है अपनी सोच को बढ़ाना और उसमें होता है आपको चरित्र को सीधा कर बहुत ही मक्कम करना. So you have to focus on all these three things. You have to be fantastic at the work you do. You have to be thinking wide for the world, and you have to have integrity of your character as you stand firm in what is a tumultuous world. There is much happening in this world today. We are seeing challenges. The challenges are on geopolitics. I cannot imagine when you look at the last 5 years, we've had a pandemic and we've had the war in Ukraine and Russia, the war right now, what you see in Israel and Gaza. We are seeing Iran and Israel, and there are wars in Africa. And of course, we had our own war, which was in India and Pakistan a few weeks ago. Along with geopolitical tensions, we are seeing the change brought about in society with the coming of artificial intelligence. Just hearing use cases of artificial intelligence when agentic AI is created and then you train the agentic AI to do a lot of work that what otherwise we were doing. How do we adapt to this change and use that agentic AI to further the progress of society and further the progress of all society and continue to have our own relevance as we go forward. We are also seeing a system of development today which is unequal and also not good for the climate, to the planet, which is unsustainable. What are the new models that we have to think about as we go forward in this world? So you're entering in this place in these 2 years, again, to learn your skills at being an MBA, to learn how to become a great business, to find opportunity in this rapidly changing world. While you are here, you are going to be here for 2 years. Remember to make much use of the campus. It is an oasis, a Vidya Vihar in the city of Mumbai. It has great facilities of sport, great other education opportunities, whether they be music, they be film, they be art, they be philosophy, they be dharma, they be science. Learn, take full advantage while you make friends and learn to be enjoying yourself and developing yourself as an individual in the 2 years you have there. Most of all, develop your mind to be quiet and still in this world. Arjun asks Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Ki chanchalam hi mana Krishno pramathi balavadranam. That my mind is very chanchal. And tasyaham nigraham manye vayo riva sudushkaram. It's hard to control the mind because the mind is as fleeting as the wind. To which Krishna responds, Asanshayami Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam. Of course, without doubt, it is hard to control the mind. But Abhyasena tu Kaunteya, Abhyas is practice, Vairagyena, the cultivation of dispassion, you will achieve stillness. Only yesterday I was talking to someone who was finding it difficult to stay still in this tumultuous world as it affects the person individually, as we see the world changing around us. In this changing world, learn to enjoy it, learn to be still, learn to keep yourself quiet as the world changes around you, and enjoy yourself, become great students of Vidya Vihar, and continue to be great citizens of India and the world. Welcome to Somaiya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we missed your poetry this year. I request Dr. Rajshekharan Pillai, our Vice Chancellor of Somaiya Vidya Vihar University, to share his words of wisdom. As you can see, he just does not permit me to introduce him to all of you. So here he is.
Thank you very much. First of all, on my personal behalf and on behalf of the university, welcome the fresh MBA students to the Somaiya Vidya Vihar University campus, Somaiya Vidya Vihar. I wish all of you the very best. Your ambition, your dedication, your hard work, that made it possible for you to come to this premier institution of management. KJ Somaiya Institute of Management is not just a single faculty management institute. It is part of a multidisciplinary university. In this campus, you will see all disciplines which you can imagine in the university system, which is part of education and knowledge building. You will see philosophy teachers, you will see philosophy students, you will see students in Dharma studies, you will see students of studying Jainism, Buddhist studies, studying chemistry, basic sciences, physics, So this is of course, you have all come from these different disciplines, mainly from engineering disciplines, commerce discipline, and maybe a few from science and arts also. You are going to be here in this university learning the management and leadership skills from our management institute professors, but along with that, you are going to live here in a harmonious coexistence with all other disciplines. That is the beauty of a multidisciplinary university. As a management institute, we have been one of the top management institutes in the country for the last 4 decades, more than 4 decades, for last 4 decades, and 2019 we became a university. Now this university is probably the only multidisciplinary university covering all disciplines. When I say it is not just university, higher education only, you will see kindergarten here, you will see nursery here, you will, of course, our Chancellor mentioned about sports facility, you will see schools, +2 schools, Gujarati medium schools, Marathi medium schools, then +2 CBSE schools, all programs. You are going to, most of you are going to be staying in Sandipani. I am also staying in the same building in Sandipani. We are going to be together in Sandipani in the hostel. I am heading this university, but I am basically, of course, she said she has not introduced me, but I have been a teacher since 1971 in the university system in this country. Since 1971, I consider it a great opportunity to be with you all, along with your professors, for solving out whatever difficulties you have and making you comfortable in this campus. You will feel comfortable in this campus. Without anything, we will feel comfortable. And the type of activities the Management Institute is doing. Yesterday, just last 2 days, we were with the chemist, but the Indian chemical industry, top persons of the Indian chemical industry. The Management Institute also made a big presentation there. And you will see industries coming in a big way. You will see professors of practice. Of course, University Grants Commission introduced professor of practice 2 or 3 years ago. They have given some guidelines. Even before the University Grants Commission introduced professors of practice, the Somaiya Institute of Management has been appointing professors of practice from various facets of society, not only from industry, various facets of the society, in sustainability, in science and technology, in healthcare management, all these things. So, unlike a single management institute, this institution, you have the opportunity to mingle with all disciplines, all type of teachers, all type of knowledge creators, researchers. This possibility is unique for this particular university, but maybe in Maharashtra. And therefore, I welcome you, and you will enjoy this campus in every sense. And you have all facilities for recreation, you have all facilities for sports, cultural activities, and then experiential learning, mingling with society in a broader perspective. Please make use of all these things. Wish you the very best. Let me congratulate all of you. Let me congratulate also the parents who have decided to send their children to this institute. And let me wish the faculty, the director of the Management Institute, Dr. Raman Ramachandran, and the entire faculty of the Management Institute, and all of you the very best for the next 2 years in the process of making you the top leaders of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And just adding on to what Chancellor and Vice Chancellor have said, this is an inclusive campus. If all of us want to learn how to have an integrative approach, I think this is the best place to be in. And more than that, every person on this campus is very, very approachable. So I think that is what you all should definitely learn and practice over here. I now request Dr. Raman Ramachandran, our Dean and Director, to share his words of wisdom. That's it?
Yeah. So they can look up LinkedIn if you want to know more about me. So good morning. I want to actually start with, I don't know, our Vice Chancellor actually mentioned that he stays in the hostel. So all of those parents who are here to leave your wards in the hostel, you can go home, rest assured that the highest authority is actually overseeing your children. And those students who are going to be in the hostel, beware, Vice Chancellor himself is one of your co-hostelites. So behave yourselves. So with that, let me first start by, our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Ravi Kant, whom you will hear more about. He is the former managing director and vice chairman of Tata Motors with a long distinguished career, both in academics and in corporate. So you will hear from him. Our Chancellor, Somaiya, Vice Chancellor, Rajsekharan Pillai. We also have Secretary of our Trust, Lieutenant General Kalon, and quite a number of our my directors and deans at the university, and of course my fellow faculty and staff from KJ Somaiya Institute of Management and the batch of 25-27 and parents. My very warm welcome to all of you on this beautiful morning here at the Somaiya Vidya Vihar campus. To all those who are starting off your MBA here, congratulations, because you're one of nearly 10,000 students who aspired to join this institute, and hence, you should feel very proud of what you've accomplished, and welcome to this inaugural institute. So you heard already that this institute is more than 40 years old. I also want to just add that it is a AACSB accredited business school, which means that it has got a global standard, global approval of global process and standards in the education that is imparted. So you are actually joining an institute with a long legacy and also with certain stamp of approval from some global ranking agencies. But I want to actually spend a little bit of time about how business school education has become highly commoditized and has become very, very transactional today. So many students actually look at MBA, they want to join the, an institute, get your degree, and hopefully also get a placement. And you all, many consider that this is, a kind of a passport to a fulfilling life. And sad to say that many institutions also kind of look at an MBA degree and offering an MBA degree as a very transactional process, where every year we have a group of students on cohort coming in, we put them through a mill and they, get them a degree, and if possible, get them a placement and move on to the next, group of people. But at KJSIM, we actually believe that education, any education, and this is the belief of Somaiya Vidya Vihar University as well, any education, particularly a business school education, has to be the beginning of a transformational journey. And you heard the word transformation from some of the other speakers, but let me probably illustrate this with a nice small story. And this is a story of many years ago where a traveler is traveling along and he hasn't seen many people because he was through forests and distant villages, etc. And he comes across a construction site and he sees three people who are laying bricks. So he goes to them and asks them the same question. And the question is, what are you doing? One of them says that I am laying bricks. Yeah. The second person says, I am building a wall. And the third person stands up from what he was doing, looks around the site, looks up at the sky and says, I am building a beautiful big temple. Okay. Now, all the three were doing the same task, but they all had very different perspectives about what job they were doing. One saw it as a job, the second person probably saw it as a project, but the third person, the interesting person, actually saw this as a purpose, because he was not just laying bricks, he was building something more beautiful. So what's the message in this for all of you who are aspiring to do MBA? So as you begin attending your MBA classes, you will attend classes, you will do assignments, you will work on projects, and I am sure that many of you will grumble. In fact, I can guarantee that after your first semester, you will want a meeting with me and tell me how tough the whole program is, you have no time to go home, etc., etc. But how you see this journey is going to shape how your life is going to be and who you are, and how can you see it. So will you complete your course, or will you actually in these 2 years build a character? Will you chase grades, or will you actually pursue personal growth? Will you treat this as a certificate, a degree requirement, or will you see it as a runaway to your transformation? This is what is in your hand. And at KJ Somaiya Institute of Management, we actually invite you not to just lay bricks, but actually use these 2 years as a runway to your, building on your ideas, building on your values and your aspirations so that you can go out and build great temples, great institutions and great businesses which will actually build a better and more equitable society. We believe in this very strongly, and that's why you will see that the purpose statement of KJ Somaiya Institute of Management is that we enable the transformation of students into value-based and purpose-driven leaders who build a better world. Yeah. Now, to support this, it's all great to just put a purpose statement there, but we need to follow that up with action. And so to support this or live this value, we believe that we have a very unique approach to the MBA program. And this is an initiative which is an award-winning, research-based initiative that we call Parivartan. And Parivartan is based on, or is an initiative which is designed to ensure that you, while you are here, understand what your strengths are, what your areas of development are, and also give you an opportunity beyond just classroom to have a much more holistic development. I'm sure this afternoon you will hear more about it. In fact, your entire Parivartan exercise and journey will start in the first week with certain psychometric analysis, testing, etc. So in this transformational journey, you will be facilitated by 90 very highly qualified academicians, many of whom are sitting here. And you heard our Vice Chancellor talk about it. We also have more than a dozen professors of practice and adjunct faculty with 20, 30, 40 years of corporate experience. So you're all actually going to get a mix of high academic orientation with very, very practical application here to support you in this transformation journey. The other very important thing that you need to remember is that for many of you who have come into Mumbai for the first time, remember that you are in the financial capital of India with a very, very thriving entrepreneurship and business community here. More importantly, you are in the suburb of Ghatkopar, which I think, Samir, can say probably the most entrepreneurial suburb in Mumbai. If you go out into some of those buildings there, they may look very ordinary from outside, but I can bet you some of the people who are living there are worth more than 1,500 crores. So that's the environment you are in. So this should inspire you and go and make the best out of it. I think Professor Vandana already talked about the cohort. You are almost 650 people. Please build relationship, develop those partnerships here, because besides whatever transformational journey you begin, this is going to be the biggest asset that you're going to take away from here. And that network of 650 people, in addition to the 14,000 alumni that this institute has, is going to be a pillar of strength for you, not just in your personal life, but also in your professional life. So with that, I again want to congratulate all of you, welcome you to this university and to this institute. It's going to be challenging, it will be energizing, but I can assure you at the end of the day, it's going to be really worth it and worth the sweat. So let's transform together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest for today's event, Dr. Ravi Kant. Dr. Kant is a globally renowned corporate executive with 50 years of experience leading many global conglomerates across extractive, consumer durables, and automobile industries. His most recent position was as the vice chairman at Tata. He is currently an industrial professor at the University of Warwick, UK, and a distinguished professor at IIT Kharagpur. Mr. Ravi Kant served at Tata Motors as the CEO and managing director, and later as vice chairman of the board. He spearheaded the acquisition of Jaguar Land Rover UK and Tata Daewoo South Korea, and established Tata Motors Thailand and many other companies. These strategic moves significantly increased the company's revenue from $1.5 billion to $39 billion. So I don't think we would have had a better person to address the gathering here today to inspire all of you. Mr. Khan's educational background includes an undergraduate degree from Mayo College, a BTech honors from the Indian Institute of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, an MSc in Management Techniques in Industry from Aston University, UK, and a DSc conferred by Aston University. Mr. Ravikant is actively involved in education and healthcare. He served as the chairman of IIM Rohtak, chairperson of IIT Allahabad. He is on the advisory boards of several educational institutes in India and abroad. He has served on the board of Enactus, a non-profit organization that facilitates college students to think and act like entrepreneurs with a social orientation, among the several other social projects that he is associated with. Since we all would like to listen to Mr. Ravikant more, so I would not elaborate further on all his achievements. I request Shri Somaiya ji to felicitate Mr. Ravikant. I now request Mr. Ravikant to address the gathering for which we have all been waiting very eagerly.
Thank you. Well, my dear students who are embarking upon this MBA, 2-year MBA journey, your parents, faculty, guests, and distinguished Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and Director of the Institute here on the dais. It's truly been a pleasure to be here. My first visit to this campus, which I've yet to see in a detailed sort of manner. But whatever little glimpse I've got, I'm getting quite impressed. And what I've heard today, this morning, is the kind of thing that anyway we should be looking at. And I'm very pleased, therefore, I'm in such an environment where people are thinking in a somewhat different way with protecting our Indian ethos and still going forward. So we heard a lot about the campus. We know a lot about how the MBA is going to be conducted. It's going to be hard work and you'll be learning many disciplines. But perhaps the most important thing is what the Chancellor mentioned is Parivartan. Parivartan has two aspects. One aspect is हम दूसरों का दुनिया का परिवर्तन करेंगे and दूसरा is हम अपना परिवर्तन करेंगे. But to make the first thing happen, you need to do the second thing happen first, and that is very important. So what is the parivartan we are going to do? And I think this is a very important message that you are getting today, is that you are here, of course, to take a job, to do entrepreneurship, to make money and all that. But that should not be the limiting factor in your life, because life is beyond all this. Life is more than this. And therefore, you need to take up some kind of a mission with passion, is what kind of change you are going to be doing. What kind of person you are going to be known for. Are you going to be one of the many managers here? Are you going to be like many other people who are working here? Or you want to have done something and feel a sense of satisfaction. And I think that is very important. And as I mentioned, to make things happen, first we need to understand how should you be to make things happen. In this aspect, while you will be taught many, many disciplines here and you will become expert at that, there's one thing which is kind of common thread to all this and to Parivartan, and that is leadership. Whatever you do in life, and whether you are in family, whether you are in non-profit or profit organization or entrepreneurship or academic institutions, leadership is like blood. It runs through this. And without that, or even without that, you cannot do it. In fact, more than that, it's kind of Atma. And that leadership is something which has to pervasive in whatever you're doing. Because it brings a different kind of attitude to doing things. You may be doing things fine, but you bring that perspective, it becomes a very different. And why do we need to do, and people preceding me have talked about it, the things are changing a lot in the world, and especially in the corporate world I'll take. Corporate world, although we think it's been there for years or ages, it's not so. Corporate world has existed only for 200 years, a little over 200 years. Corporate world came into being after Industrial Revolution. You may be knowing about 17th, 18th century Industrial Revolution, which happened in the UK and Europe. First coal and then 100 years later followed by electricity. That's what brought organization. That's what brought corporate world, because instead of being together and everybody knowing each other, you get the scale and then you could distribute. So what Industrial Revolution did was to separate the place of production from place of consumption. I'll repeat again. What Industrial Revolution did was to separate the place of production from place of consumption. That means I could produce at one place so much and I could distribute all over the place in quick time, reach quick time. That means your market became much, much larger. You could address them and you could produce at one place. And therefore you could get efficiency of scale. And that would change the whole dynamics of this thing. And for that, you needed to have an organization. And therefore, at that point in time, what kind of organizations existed in the world, especially in the Western world, where it all happened? Two kinds of organization existed. One was Catholic Church and the other was military. But for obvious reasons, they chose military to go after. And what it was, both were hierarchical organizations. One guy at the top, different levels, people there. So everybody knew what place in that organization he or she was, who she was reporting to, whose people were reporting to, and who was the boss. And so there was a concept of a boss, a top guy. So in Catholic Church, it was the Pope, and in military, it was either the king or the general. And looking at that, therefore, what model that it adopted was leading from the front, from the military. And to understand that, let's go back 2,500 years ago. And why I'm saying this, because the first written military history strategy is available only 2,500 years ago. Let's go back to Alexander the Great. Many of you may have heard of him. He became king at the age of 20. He created the largest transcontinental empire ever in the world at the age of 30. And he came right to the edge of India, as you know, and then went back. He was a great strategist, a great person. He was taught by none other than Aristotle. And therefore, he was well versed in, as we are talking about here, in different disciplines. So he was taught by one person, but different disciplines. And therefore, he had a very different kind of make up his mind. And therefore, he never lost a battle. That's why he's called Alexander the Great. So let's look at the context, because it is the context which determines how you would be successful. So what was the context at that point in time? 2,500 years. They had swords, they had javelins, and they had horses. So if you have only javelins and swords and horses, you have no option but to lead from the front, because you got to show to people how brave you are, how intelligent you are, how strategic you are, because people are watching and seeing you. in the battlefield. And that's how leading from the front emerged. And then, as I said, corporates took it over. But let's look at the military itself. We talked about Ukraine war and things like that. So what's happening? What's happening? The person who are conducting the war are not there in the front at the battle. They are sitting either in Moscow or Kyiv or Brussels or Washington DC or wherever. And therefore the context has changed, and therefore the style of leadership has undergone change in military. Today we are talking about most of the wars has been conducted in the last 2 years through drones, unmanned drones. And now we have unmanned missiles. And therefore maybe 2 years later it will be from space wars. So the whole context has changed, and because of that context, you need to apply different kind of techniques and different kind of leadership. So similarly, in the corporate world, things are changing quite dramatically. Now there are two things I would like to, two aspects I would like to talk about. One aspect is that when you have any organization, whether it's academic institution or a corporate organization or any others, it starts with good intentions, very, very lofty goals, but over a period of time, it begins to accumulate a lot of negatives. And in corporate world, I'll pick out 3 negatives, which has now accumulated. Number one is single-minded focus on money. That means the only objective is that how can organization be most valuable. That means the value of the organization, the market value of the organization is what is driving. And that means I am not concerned with other stakeholders, only shareholders. Only emphasis on shareholders. There's no emphasis on stakeholders. As if you are doing it in isolation, as if the things have progressed in isolation, and you have no this thing from the society, from the government, from the industry itself. And for individual also, how can I become millionaire, how can I become billionaire and trillionaire now also. Now, mind you, money is important. Money is important, don't get me wrong. But I think if money becomes the sole and only purpose, then there is a problem. And I think the pendulum has swung to this side, that money has become the sole and only thing, and everybody is chasing that. And that is causing inequality. That is rupturing the society. Now, you cannot have few persons becoming billionaires and 30% of your population going without food. Society cannot exist. Society will get ruptured. And that is the situation we are in today, even in the US and elsewhere. The second thing is, in our pursuit for productivity and efficiency, and mind you, again, I'm saying, like money, efficiency and productivity is what gives you growth. God gives you cost reduction. But in a pursuit for that, we have dehumanized human beings. We have dehumanized human beings. That means I treat human beings as piece of machinery. As use human beings as somebody disposable. I can check out 20,000 persons today. I don't care what happens to them. I can take out 100 people today. It doesn't matter. So I'm saying, yes, business exigencies may require you to do that, but there's a way of doing things. It cannot be that one fine morning everybody gets a pink slip and they don't know what to do. And you have no obligation, you have no responsibility to even know what happens to those persons. So this kind of thing is both, which I talked about, is single-minded focus on money and single-minded thing only on productivity without bothering about the humanity of people is rupturing the society. And understand that you cannot succeed in a ruptured society. You have to understand this. You got to have people happy. You got to take people along. If you don't do it, you will get toppled. A time will come when you will not succeed. A time will come when you will get toppled. Time will come when this. So we are today living in this world where the society is very fractured. And therefore you must be conscious when you go out into the world, you need to be conscious of this kind of thing, which, as I said, corporates have accumulated over a period of time. And third thing is over-glorification of leadership. Because of the kind of command and control and one guy at the top and leading from the front model that we have chosen, we are ascribing everything, all the success to the guy at the top. One person. So that one person leading from front, we have over-glorified leadership. Yes, leadership is important, but it's not that important. It's a critical thing, but only leadership cannot do. Unless you have people, unless you have organization, unless everybody is coming together, unless you are getting benefit from society, unless the economic cycle is there. So to ascribe 100% of the credit to one person is totally irrelevant. It is not true, and it is totally unjust in my view. And therefore, this has causing tremendous problem. And this has been, and from the Western world, because it all started mainly from there, because every organization, every business school, every society, every this thing is geared towards that, glorification of leadership. And I think time has come for us to take a pause and look at it, because it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. So these are three things I've talked about, which are today wrong with corporates. And you must be conscious of this when you go into your life and make a career, and while even you are studying in these next 2 years. The three things I would like to talk about is what, in addition to this, in 21st century, what has changed dramatically. Again, I'll pick three things. What has changed dramatically? Number one is huge amount of uncertainty and unpredictability, disruptions, and where you can't predict anything. Especially, I would say, in these last 20 years. Now, whether it is natural disasters, whether it is unpredictability of societies, whether it is wars, who expected wars to happen, Ukraine war to happen, who expected Gaza war to happen, but they create a lot of problems. Who expected earthquake to happen in Japan, but it disrupted the supply chain. So these things, and plus, of course, on top of it, technological disruptions which are happening. We are very used to smartphones. 20 years ago, there was nothing like that. Now we are talking about AI. 10 years ago, we didn't know about it. And we are saying, so all these things are causing disruptions, and they are not happening, say, every 5 years, every 10 years. They are not predictable. They are happening bunched together. You don't know what is coming. This thing is also happening. That is also happening. So we are in a state of confusion. We don't know what to do. And therefore, you will understand, to withstand this kind of thing, a rigid hierarchical organization cannot do. You got to have a flexible organization. You got to have more adaptive organization. You got to have more anticipatory organization. You got to have quick reacting organization. You got to have that kind of thing. So unless you have that, I can tell you it will be a formula for disaster. So if you are carrying on the previous thought process of having a hierarchical organization, think twice about it. Think twice about it. Think 10 times about it. Because that kind of organization cannot handle this kind of changes and uncertainties that we are talking about. Number two is explosion of data. When I have small information, small this thing, then maybe one person can do. But if this is expanded to 1,000,000 times, it's impossible for one person to be seized of all that. And therefore, you need to have distributed leadership. You cannot have leadership which is one guy and giving orders. Those days are gone. So you need to have distributed leadership. So you have to have a number of people, number of leaders in different disciplines coming together and then taking a decision and things like that. It's a more collective leadership. And therefore, leadership role has itself changed or should change. And what is that? Instead of being in the front, you need to become a facilitator. You need to become a coach. You need to become somebody who's working with people. And that is going to be very important. And third part is change in demographics. Actually, people like you. Mind you, this is my 95th interaction on this subject across the world. And I've asked this question many times. And irrespective of where you are in England or Singapore or here or in education institute or in corporates, would millennials and Gen Z like to work in a command and control type of organization under that kind of leader? And the answer that I've got so far is vehement no. And I want to ask this question here also. Would you like to work under a command control type of leader? Can I hear, please? Speak out. Speak. No, why no? Because it's suffocating. Because it doesn't give you the space to show your own creativity. Because it doesn't appreciate your things. In our times, needs were different. We wanted security, and therefore we tolerated all these kind of things. Today, you don't require security. You got money, your parents have got money, you are well paid. And therefore, you can choose to be different. You can choose to do what you think you should be doing. You can choose to do what satisfies you. You can choose to do what makes you happy. And you have a choice. In our times, we had this much of choice. In today, you have this much of choice. And therefore, you are going to be exercising that choice. And therefore, I come to this thing. A rigid hierarchical organization cannot do, and therefore, you got to have flexible organization. You got to have distributed, adaptive leadership, collective leadership, and not one guy leading. And that's very important. So if you want sustained progress, if you want a long-term success, then that's the only thing you can do. You have the other choice also. You can lead by what I call the 3 Fs. Fear, force, favoritism. Singly or in combination of each of these 3. You can do that, but then you are an autocrat. You'll achieve success, mind you. You can achieve success for a short period of time. I'm not saying that. But it will never be sustainable. You'll never be sustainable. So what it boils down to, if I may say, what I call is leading from the back. For want of better words, I'm calling it leading from the back. And then what it boils down to is creating powerful teams. Very, very powerful teams. And in that, the main thing is creating trust. How do you create trust? That's very important. Because we all think that people should trust me. But we don't trust others. And therefore, you have to start by trusting everybody. Collaborate. And see each other's strengths and put it all together. Then only you will create powerful teams. And those powerful teams can do impossible tasks. Some of the things they mentioned about me, kindly. So I must narrate my story. I worked in 7 companies. They talked about Tata Motors only, but I worked in 7 companies. Each in a different industry. So people in the company where I'm going to join are far more technically competent than me and far more experienced than me. But by some reason, I'm there. So what do I do? And I can tell you, whether it is Philips or LML Vespa or Titan watches or Hawkins or wherever else, some things happened. So what was done? We were able to create very powerful teams based on trust, based on collaboration, based on leveraging strengths. When you have this, it is a formula for to create very big things. And therefore, the team goes forward and makes things happen, which have not been even understood. And that's why if you want to be unique, if you want to go from here to be counted and seen as something from this institute, then you got to do something unique. And that uniqueness can only happen, especially in today's world, if you collaborate. And collaboration comes with trust. But all this cannot happen till you change yourself. You will appreciate that. And in changing yourself, you got to be open-minded. First is open-mindedness. Why open-mindedness? Two things. One is you will hear a lot of things, but you got to be open to see and sift through all that is what is correct, what is not correct, what is relevant, not relevant. And also because of the other things I said, things are changing so fast. If you are not open-minded, you will not know things have changed fast. And therefore, you don't get any notice to react to it. So you must have some anticipation, some kind of advance notice, then only you can do something. And therefore, you need to keep your mind always open. Talking to people, seeing things from different sources, and like this. Educate yourself, educate. Never believe in your mind that you know it all. Because the day you begin to say, I know it all, that will be the start of the downfall. And the senior you become, more close-minded you become. Please keep that in mind. But time is today where you got to be open-minded. And only those people open-minded are going to understand how things are changing and therefore be able to find a solution to it and make things happen. So this is very important. And in that, two of the other things I will talk about is taking ownership. You are not doing a job, please understand. You are not doing a job. You have taken the ownership of that particular activity. It's your activity, it's your thing. Whether you are financial owner or equity holder, doesn't matter. Whatever you are doing, assume it is you. You own it. Because when you begin to think like that, a different perspective will come. And you will see the job in a very different way. And therefore, the whole thing will begin to change. And while you are taking ownership, be detached. I said money and all is important. But you are not doing it for money. You are not doing to get promotion, next promotion. You are doing it because it should be done. And you have a sense of detachment, because if you are too close to it, you will go up and down like this. So if you want to take a more equanimity, you want to take more rational decisions, then you got to distance yourself. You got to have a sense of detachment. And he talked about something like this. And this is the place where dharma is being taught and all these things are being taught, which is, of course, of a detachment. And many other things are being done. So I think this is a good environment for you to develop detachment. And there's something called how to develop detachment is also if you do meditation. I heard that Buddhist studies are being done. You know, Buddhist monks do this kind of thing after 18 years, 19 years, then they have the realizations. What do they do actually? So now it's being scientifically proven that a conscious mind, what they are doing is they are developing through meditation, they are developing subconscious mind. Because conscious mind has so much of capacity. Subconscious mind is almost infinite capacity. So you can understand if you have only so much, you can do only so much. But if you have so much, then you can think of many things. Then creativity comes into being. There's so many other things come to it. And subconscious mind can be developed. As I said, in today's world, where things are changing so far, exploding so fast, you need to have creativity. You need to have creativity. You need to be able to connect dots. That is going to set you apart from somebody else. That's going to set you apart from somebody else. And to develop that, there are other means which I won't talk about to develop subconscious, but meditation is one big thing. And therefore, I would very much urge you people to use this thing of detachment, not as something कि ठीक है अगर गीता में बोल दिया है कि ये करके रखना, that's all right. But I'm saying in your everyday life, if you have slightly detached, then you will be able to take more rational decisions. Otherwise, you'll go mad. You'll go berserk because you find, oh my God, things should have happened now, and suddenly you find something else has happened. Something else has happened. Totally unexpected. So if you don't have a detached mind, you will go mad. And therefore, I would very strongly urge you people to take advantage of things which are available here in Vidya Vihar. Use it to your full advantage and leverage it to make things happen in a better way. And therefore, call this parivartan, make this world a better place, not only for yourself and for others to live in. And first, for that, I need to change myself. And I wish all of you, therefore, as I said, whatever subjects you may be dealing with, those are important. But this is an overlay of everything. This is for everything. And if you are able to develop that, I can tell you that you will become a unique person. You will create successes and which are longer lasting. And most important of it, you will be a happy person. So wish you all the best and thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for the powerful leadership lessons that you have given us, where you have taken reference from history and linked it to current times, and also peppered it with a lot of your personal experience. Personally, I loved the power of three that you used in giving us 3 points for all of it. The students can now ask questions to Sri Ravikant ji. And I'm sure many of your doubts will be cleared with regard to management, leadership, entrepreneurship, etc.
Yeah, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to respond to them. ये कैमरा को हटा दीजिए.
Hello. A very good, warm afternoon to all the panel over here and everybody mentioned in the auditorium. This is Avik Shrivastava from MBA Code 27. So my question is from you, sir, Ravikant, sir. So you have an exploratory CV. You've been to so many places outside the country and you've attended and managed so many of your establishments. So in your mind, your point of view, how do we, in lieu of our KJSM vision, how do we transform ourselves to be enjoyable and happy and overall enjoy our experience as a new place and not only adjust, but be happy and satisfied with what we are in a new place, sir?
I think first is to understand what facilities are available here. Second is to understand what you want to be, and then work backwards from there. And therefore, which facilities, with what extent, you will prioritize that. You know, in life, prioritization is very important because at the end of the day, we have 24 hours. And therefore, if you don't prioritize your life, you will be confused. You will not be able to do things. So priority in life is very important. So once you have decided what it is, what kind of this thing, then all these things will start fitting in there. So once you have decided on that, then for each individual person, it is a different thing. But you need to decide the priorities in your life. And that is, as I said, more important, whatever you're doing.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
That was really illuminating. Thank you.
Student who wants to ask a question is requested to kindly stand up so that we know where the mic has to be passed.
Thanks a lot for this wonderful inauguration. I just had a question from Dr. Ravikant. Why is there a slight lag? Okay. So you spoke about, staying detached through the whole process. I mean, while leading such a large organization, so many people, how do you, stay detached throughout the whole process? And how can we invite that as well? During our 2-year program, all the stress, how do we follow that?
In fact, you will be better off if you are slightly detached. Don't try to overwork yourself. And I would say that all these things are important, but they are not that important. They are not at the cost of health. They are not cost of their mental condition. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So you need to say that you should be true to your conscience. I am going to give my best to it. But you are not going to die for it. And make yourself a mentally disturbed person. So, as I said, once you are clear about your priorities, then everything begins to fall in your place. That, okay, I have so much time I'll put for sports, so much for social activities, so much for studies, so much for this, so much for that. Then you will be a more grounded, more this person, and you will try your best. After that, many things can happen which may not be right. And I don't think you should worry too much about it. And this is only a milestone. In life, many other things will happen. I'm not saying that you should not do well in MBA, but that is no guarantee for success in life. Please understand that. Success in life depends on many other things. What kind of breaks you get, how do you make things, how you're dealing and behaving with people. Once you get this formula of dealing with people, I think you'll be better off for yourself and for others.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. I am Devashish Shafle from the 25-27 batch. So my question is regarding the suggestion that you made of distribution leadership. So the level of freedom that we need to ensure to each stakeholder has to be of how much importance as such. When I say this, what I mean to say is the level of what you talk about was distribution leadership. So the level of freedom of each member of the team, how much we should ensure.
You see, if you think that you are going to get it on platter, it will not happen. Because the organization is very hierarchical. And the people at the top, they have got closed mind. They don't want to change because they have no stake. They have a stake of only 5 years, 7 years. So they would not be interested in making the change. But you need to get somebody out there in that who will be sympathetic to what you want to do, to give you opportunity to do it in a small place, a small area, a small this thing,
So, sir,
where you are able to create a success. And mid-level managers. And it is for you people to actually band together. How do you cause revolutions? How do you cause movements? So if you believe in this, then you got to cause movement. You got to cause revolution. You got to change the whole thing. Otherwise, it will take 40 years to change it.
So, sir, we need to cultivate such people who are around us.
Yes, absolutely. You have to band together. You have to
sir.
band together.
Thank you so much.
I'm Saurabh Baral, and this is a question for you. During a long profession, you might have a lot of time when things didn't go exactly as planned or plans failed. How did you deal with it, and can you share experience so that we can all use it in our experiences?
You know, in life, you'll always face failures. If you think the life is going to go like this, success, that doesn't happen. That's not reality. So in life, you will have failures. You have to go with the assumption that you will have failures. Failures are not bad. But what is bad is if you don't learn from the failures. You got to learn from the failures so that similar kind of thing you don't do. Mistake you don't do when the next things happen. And you make yourself wiser. And failure makes people wiser. And therefore, that's what you need to do. And not be so much this thing. And second thing, which I've already talked about, be detached. If you're detached, then you'll see the failure in a somewhat more rational manner. So greater equanimity. It's not that if you're a failure, then I've got a drooping head, I'll close myself in room for 5 days, oh my God, what has happened, and things like that. No. So if you're detached, then you are able to see this in a different perspective. And that is why I am time and time again saying that developing detachment is a very important thing. So you don't go sky high when the success is there, and you don't go down in the depths of ocean when failure is there. You have equanimity. You are able to see this in a better perspective and a more rational manner.
Sure, thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dilnaz Sidhwa. I'm a parent of one of the students who's aspiring for MBA. My question is for Mr. Somaiya. So, Mr. Somaiya, thank you for your inspirational speech. And some of the snippets that I take is that you have a wealth of transformation journey. One of the things that you beautifully mentioned across was to keep your mind focused. Your mind is chanchal and it wavers. So in this world of digital diversification, any 2-3 tips that you can share with everybody, the students, the parents, of how to keep focused on the job at hand? That will help. Thank you.
I thought after my welcome speech, I was on holiday. I think first thing is that you must do what you're passionate about. So that's my first thing. I think, importantly, detachment does not, you have to be passionate about what you do, but you have to be detached from whether it comes out good or bad, because things may not turn out the way you want. Passion, persistence, perseverance in the face of success or failure is something, I think you need to keep that going. The second thing is, of course, so once you're passionate about what you do, you're not going to think that you're working. You are in it, you're enjoying it. In addition to that, life is much larger than that. I would say cultivate other things as well. Whether it is a love of sport, whether it is a love of reading, whether it is a love of music, and whether it is again to practice meditation, some kind of stillness, travel, hiking, mountains. I do all of that. I love all of what I just said, and that's how I love what I do. I do what I love, and I think that's for all of us to find what we should do. On this campus, you can also do all of that. So find yourself and, just become a larger version or a better version of yourself as you go along.
Due to lack of time, we'll take one more question.
Yeah, hi. My name is Hitesh. I am from MBA Core, and it was a really great session. And thank you to the panel and Dr. Ravikant. So I had one question. So I carry the experience in founder's office, and I was associated with the Indian MNC with strategy and operations domain. And once getting from back to the work experience to coming to the college, so how to collaborate that experience and bring the best knowledge on the table and collaborate with faculty, with students, such that we can bring the best out of the 2 years. So please, sir, if you can guide something on that.
I think you have already answered your question. So collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. How to is what is important. And therefore, you should not see yourself as an exception. You should become a part of a team. Go down to other person, see how he would like to collaborate with you, not how you expect somebody to collaborate with you, but how he would like to collaborate with you. Understand that, and that make it happen. Unless you do that, unless you show that humility, he should collaborate with me, no. How can you induce him to collaborate with me? That is important. And life, you will begin to see that not everybody is reporting to you, but still you got to get success. And that success depends on these other people also. So you got to go down to them. You got to, even if they were 2 levels below, 3 levels below, you got to go down to them and you need to befriend them in a positive sort of manner to help you achieve your task. Without their feeling that they're helping you achieve the task. They feel that it is everybody's task. And I think there you'll find success.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Humility, very, very important word that we all need to practice. And going forward, we are absolutely thrilled to recognize and celebrate the outstanding achievements of a few exceptional students who have been awarded 100% merit scholarship. A big round of applause to all of them. These scholarships are a testament to their remarkable academic excellence, coupled with significant contributions in sports, arts, or unwavering dedication to community service. These students truly embody the values we hold very dear and will undoubtedly serve as inspiring role models for our entire student community. As a direct recognition of their hard work and achievements, they have been granted 100% tuition fee waiver for admission into our MBA program. And this has been after rigorous interview process that they all had to go through. We are incredibly proud of their accomplishments and eagerly anticipate witnessing their continued success with us in the next 2 years. Please join me in offering a heartfelt round of applause as we congratulate these exemplary students on their well-deserved scholarship. I now request Mr. Hardik Sharma, MBA 25-27, to come and receive his check. I request all 3 dignitaries to present the check to him. Heartiest congratulations, Hardik. I think the applause should be louder. Next, I call upon Miss Nikita Hishikar to come up on stage and receive her check. Heartiest congratulations, Nikita. I think the student community should applaud. At KJ Somaiya Institute of Management, we believe a lot in appreciation. So we should appreciate each other. So please keep the applaud louder. Next, I call upon Ms. Samya Mankhani to receive her check. Heartiest congratulations. Ms. Shamal Patil is Ms. Shamal Patil is the 4th recipient of 100% merit scholarship. Congratulations to all the recipients. Thank you. Today is a very special day for all of us, and we need to preserve it in the form of beautiful photographs. So on the screen, you would all see a QR code. You're requested to scan the QR code to access your photographs. The QR code will be on screen till the end of the program. Finally, I would like to thank Dr. Vaishali Padake to have enthusiastically planned and organized the entire orientation and induction program. I request Dr. Vaishali to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vidya. Good afternoon, everyone. As we come to the close of this orientation program, it is my great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks. We are here to begin the transformation journey of our new MBA student, and it has been indeed a great start. First and foremost, I extend my gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Ravikant. Sir, thank you for accepting our invitation and delivering an inspiring address to our incoming student of batch 25-27. Sir, thank you. We are thankful to Honorable Chancellor and Honorable Vice Chancellor for their presence. Sir, thank you. Thank you, Director. Thank you, respected Director, sir, for your unwavering support that made this orientation program possible. Sir, thank you. A special thank to the induction committee and faculty members for their invaluable contribution. Your tireless efforts and your enthusiasm in organizing this program, your excitement in looking forward to guiding our new student is invaluable. To our new MBA students, welcome to the family. You are now part of a vibrant community, and we are excited to see your transformation journey. Thank you for choosing our institution to pursue your MBA. I take this opportunity to thank all the parents who are present here, and I appreciate your involvement as your children are embarking on his new academic journey. I would like to extend my gratitude to the administrative staff whose behind the scene work is often unseen but crucial. Thank you for your efficiency and commitment. Lastly, a big thank you to everyone who contributed to this event in any way, whether you are involved in planning, coordinating or execution of various aspects of this orientation. Your contribution are deeply appreciated. Thank you once again everyone for being here. Let's look forward to a successful and enriching academic year ahead. Now with this, we close the YouTube live. Now I request all of you to please arise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात